previously, so we are ready to convene to regular session. So the next item on our agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. If you guys would all join me. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right. Item number 5, hearing of the public. Don't think we have any tonight, so we will move on. Item number 6, administrative personnel, superintendent's recommendations. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Sean?
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Mrs. Yingling?
Yes.
Mr. Wise? Yes. Mr. Steele?
Yes.
Mrs. Abachi?
Yes.
5-0.
Item number 7, non-district funded positions, superintendent's recommendations. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Sean?
Mrs. Yingling?
Yes.
Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Steele?
Yes.
Mrs. Abachi?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
5-0.
Item number 8. I can
Good
get to
catch.
it.
Way at the bottom.
This is a long one. Contracted personnel, independent contracts, superintendent's recommendations. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Sean?
Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Steele?
Yes.
Mrs. Abachi?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Mrs. Yingling?
Yes.
5-0.
Item number 9, certified personnel, superintendent's recommendations. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just want to congratulate, anytime we have retirements or people moving on to other appointments and opportunities, just want to congratulate them on their next piece of their journey and thank them for their service here. You'll see some people on this portion of the agenda that have served here for many years, so thank you so much for your service.
Thank you, Jonathan. Any other discussion? Sean?
Mr. Steele?
Yes.
Mrs. Abachi?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Mrs. Yingling?
Yes.
Mr. Wise?
Yes.
5-0.
Item number 10, supplemental personnel, superintendent's recommendations. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just a clarification, if you're watching and wondering what this is, the supplemental deletions and then the additions, that goes through a committee that is built out of, with our union and our administrators working together to make sure that we have the right people in the right roles. So sometimes we'll delete certain roles that are not filled so that we can open up other roles for opportunities for our teachers to be paid for those leadership opportunities. So just so you understand what that means on there.
Thanks, Jonathan. Any other discussion? Sean?
Mrs. Abachi?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Mrs. Yingling?
Yes.
Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Steele?
Yes.
5-0.
Item number 11, classified personnel, superintendent's recommendations. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion?
Just congratulations to the retirees and those moving on to other opportunities. And also welcome to some new appointees there that are coming on to join us at the high school and over at our transportation department as well.
Thank you, Jonathan. Any other discussion? Sean?
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Mrs. Yingling?
Yes.
Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Steele?
Yes.
Mrs. Abachi?
Yes.
5-0.
Item number 12, certified personnel, additional duties, superintendent's recommendations. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Sean?
Mrs. Yingling?
Yes.
Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Steele?
Yes.
Mrs. Abachi?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
5-0.
Item number 13, classified personnel, additional duties, superintendent's recommendations. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Sean?
Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Steele?
Yes.
Mrs. Abachi?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Yes, Mrs. Yingling?
Yes.
5-0.
Item number 14, action items, superintendent's recommendations. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion?
If I could just highlight a few things on here. As you go through the recommendations here, A through J, you'll notice that there are some agreements with regional centers to serve specific needs for specific students. And so we work with those regional centers to help them to get exactly the service they need for education. We also work with, you'll see Hamilton County ESC to help us with some of our summer work with evaluations of students coming in. And then as you go through with item G, for example, just ongoing partnership with the Warren County ESC and them purchasing Western Row. We've been discussing that for quite a while now, but we're just excited to have that partnership. They started as a lease a year or so ago, and then now looking to purchase that as a property. We also, as part of that agreement, reserve the right to purchase that back if that's something that we would want. We'd have first rights to do that. So if anybody's wondering about what that is. And then there's also, I believe on here, and I'm scrolling through. Give me the letter.
ATPE, is that what you're looking for? or-
Yes, thank you, E. It's where my cursor is lying. Sorry, I'm trying to do our public information officer job at the same time as she's taking care of her little one. So Tracy, we miss you. So if you look on here, you'll see E as another great example of partnership with ATP. That's not exactly, the partnerships with the foundation that oversees the tennis center, which we refer to often as the Linder Family Tennis Center and the ATP group. But that is a ongoing partnership that we've been developing. But now what will happen is they'll work with us directly with our tennis courts here locally and doing some resurfacing of those so that their pros, while they're here in town, while we're hosting one of the largest tennis tournaments in the country, will come to our actual facility and work on our facility and be able to play there and practice so our community members can see them up close and personal, and our own student athletes will have access to them and be able to work with them, and then they pay to have that resurfaced every year to that professional level. So super happy about that. It's the same place that we had graduation, so that partnership is a great local example of partnership.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, I do just want to make a point. The language on the agenda is very brief and not fully representative of the actual agreement. It's resurface, not paint. So
Yes, it's,
so we
yes.
so the agreement itself is resurface.
That's available online too,
Yeah,
by the way.
it's on there. It's just, you just have to look past the broad.
Yeah, it says paint tennis courts, but it's a resurfacing with a professional grade
Right.
poly something, and I don't know the technical name for it, but it's something that it's required at the professional level. Yeah.
Very exciting and very great opportunity for, us as a district to be able to have that partnership and provide that opportunity for our tennis players. That's great. And the community that uses those courts.
I'm going to say the community is going to benefit from having pro-level surface courts, which is great.
And likewise, the sale of Western Road to the Warren County ESC, that's been a great partnership. It's great to see that building and that property have been given kind of new life and new purpose by a partner in our community. And I know we're excited to see that continue. So,
I know that you mentioned the terms of that agreement, but our at least initial intent is to take those funds and put them kind of in our broader long-term property planning picture. Those are not funds that we intend to immediately make use of. So I think that's a great opportunity.
That's good
Glad
future
we got to.
investment.
And to reflect on that it's part of the plan, this has been part of the plan with redoing the middle school. I mean, dating back to building up the credits to be able to do the middle school renovation, right, and our long-term needs. And it's sometimes we can just gloss over it because it's the last thing. I mean, it's literally the last thing in that, at least the physical building plan. So it's actually pretty exciting. And exciting that the last two buildings that we've offlined have gone to local partners who use them for educational purposes, and in Warren County's case, serve our students, our actual district students too.
Yeah, it's mutually beneficial for
Yeah.
them and us as well.
Yeah, it's great.
all right, any further discussion? Sean?
Mr. Steele?
Yes.
Ms. Abachi?
Yes.
Mr. Gavin?
Yes.
Ms. Yingling?
Yes.
Mr. Wise?
Yes.
5-0.
Item number 15, Treasurer's Report. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just a quick note on item A on here, just for anybody watching out there, just how the process works in terms of setting health insurance rates. So district is self-funded for all of our medical insurances. Basically, the process is that we work with a health insurance committee within the district. There's also a finance committee, obviously, that we work with, and then we work with a broker and some actuaries as well to set those rates. So there's quite a process that we go through to set these rates for the next year. The good news for the district and for the community is that we're looking at rates of about 4%, 4.3% increase for next year on medical insurances. So that's what this is approving for next school year.
Thank you, Sean. Any further discussion? Sean?
Mrs. Batchy?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Mrs. Yangling?
Yes.
Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Steele?
Yes.
5-0.
Item number 16, committee reports.
You know, the only committee, we had a few here. We had athletic council committee, finance committee, and Mason Schools Foundation all met since our last meeting. And so our agendas are attached there for us to review. But with athletic council, it was a year closeout. So Scott Stemple, our athletic director, went through with all of us. These are the impacts financially that we've seen over the past year, because obviously the year before when we closed out in the spring, and then we had limitations in the fall to our gate for football, just there's a financial impact to that. And then he worked directly with Sean to figure out how we're going to take care of those financial things for this year. Fully expecting next year, hopefully, to be back and back into the place that they would want to be financially as a sports organization. So he talked a lot about that. And some of the things we discussed as a team was just how we're going to approve even trips in the future, and just making sure that we're all informed in some of those pieces, because we're going back to more of a normal schedule next year where kids are going to take some of the trips that possibly they did in the past, or the state championships will be held at different, because there was just a lot of regulation this year that was different than we were used to. So discuss that. And Charles, I don't know if there's anything else that I missed on that. Okay.
Well, Finance Committee, we talked about the two items on the agenda here, both the health insurance plan for the year as well as the property and casualty insurance. We made a change to our provider the coming year, and so Sean walked through the process. The broker went out and shopped it, and nice process, helps us stay very competitive on those and keeps, I think, the market on its toes, knowing that we're going to do that kind of diligence each year to be sure we're properly covered. So I think those two items were covered and seen them on the agenda tonight.
In Schools Foundation, we covered last meeting, actually. We had a meeting.
Great. All right, item number 17, legislative update.
There's a lot of things always happen at the legislative level, but in terms of what's the biggest thing that's happened since our last meeting is the budget was passed. And so Sean has done a nice job in just keeping us updated on what the predictions of that would be and what the impacts would be. We do not have significant impacts that I would say for us specifically. But
Yeah, so it was quite a process that we've been watching for the last couple of years. The community might have read about the Cup-Patterson funding formula they been working on for the last 2 to 3 years. That actually made its way through and into this biennium budget for us. So the education community, I'd say as a whole, considers that a win to have a formula that actually works and funds based on the number of students that each district has. For us here locally in Mason, really no major difference for us. We're looking at about a 0.3% increase, which is very minimal. Really does not change the trajectory of the district and our financial picture. So, for us, we would continue to reiterate our appreciation for the community that supported us back last year in passing the operating levy. The good news is we're still, through the last year, the storm we've had over the last year, we're still on track to maintain our commitment to the community to make that levy last at least 5 years. And so that's probably the bigger story than any kind of change in the funding formula for us.
Thanks, Sean. All right, any other discussion? On to the next one. Item number 19. Oh, wait a minute. We're missing
18.
we're missing an 18. How'd that happen?
Administrator commentary
Yeah.
taken out.
No administrative commentary tonight, is that?
yeah, I have an 18 as well.
I guess there are two administrators.
Yeah. Let's,
Nothing major to add.
any administrative
tonight.
commentary?
All right, we did it. That was number 18.
Fair enough. Okay. Item 19, board commentary. Desiree?
Oh, not much to add this evening. Pretty short meeting. Just looking forward to next school year and getting back to somewhat normal education conditions, and things are looking good so far. So that's all I have for this evening.
Thanks, Desiree. Matt?
I'm tempted not to say anything to help with the meeting. pace. But given that it's July 6th, tonight is the night I would want to say something. The last meeting, you didn't say anything because I'm not sure that I could have made it through, but I just wanted to say that my dad passed away about a month ago. And I just wanted to thank so many people for their support of me and my family and the love that poured out. And the reason I wanted to say something now is just that, people said really, really nice things and were really supportive and reached out in many cards. And I'll say that in the context of a school board meeting, I think, Charles, your comment in a card, I think it was, that just telling me how proud my dad will be of this work meant a lot. And I think that's true. So I just wanted to share that and thank people for their support.
Thanks, Matt. Kevin?
Wait, did I say why today's his birthday?
Oh,
So
you
July
did
6th
not.
is his birthday.
Sorry.
No, today is his birthday. That's why today, despite the fact that we want to keep up the pace, I did want to go ahead and say that.
Happy
today,
that you took
so
the time.
Thanks.
Nothing for me tonight.
Connie?
Yeah, I just would like to make mention of the fact that summer seems to be a downtime for the school districts. We have a lot of administrative staff that work hard all summer long, and I just appreciate that extra effort and that extra time that our administrators have in their contract for the district.
Thanks.
Are you saying you're glad we have them on the hook for the summer days to work? 'Cause it is a good thing.
Yes, it is.
Connie. I will just also keep it brief, but wanted to acknowledge Matt. Thank you for sharing that with us as a board. I know we've all probably spoken to you individually, privately, but I think it bears acknowledging publicly here as well that you have endured a lot of big moments in your life and tough ones in particular with respect to your mommy and your dad, and we have truly, as a community, appreciated your investment and commitment to the work of the district. And on behalf, I know, of all the board, we are very, very sorry for your loss. But we know that this is something that your dad would be very proud to see you continuing on. And so, with that, I have nothing else to add. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved?
Second?
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.